Hello, hello. All right, everyone. We're going to watch John Stossel's video that just came out exposing SPLC, Southern Poverty Law Center. Disgusting. I would consider them a hate group. This is a 5-minute video. And it's very important for us to watch this, in my opinion. For anyone who doesn't see John Stossel's isn't subscribed to him or whatnot and doesn't see his video, maybe you'll see it here. That is my goal. So with that, let me shut off that background music and let's get to the hate.
There are dangerous hate groups in America. Who will warn us about them? The media tell us.
The Southern Poverty Law Center. The Southern Poverty Law Center.
The Southern Poverty Law Center, based in that building in Alabama, calls itself the premier group monitoring hate groups and other extremists. Looking at their map of hate groups, you'd think hate groups were everywhere. I once believed what the center said. Well-meaning people still do. Apple gave them $1 million. But what donors don't know is that today the center smears good people.
The presence of radical Islam.
This Somalian woman speaks out against radical Islam.
Wow.
For that, the center put
on her CLE. She's amazing.
Join the fight against hate and bigotry.
Visit SPLcenter.org.
I do think that we have a problem with hate in this country.
We put about 10 of these major hate groups out of business.
When I first investigated the center, its leaders wouldn't talk to me. So liberal commentator Nomiki Kuntz defended them.
They have a long history of fighting against extremists like the KKK.
History, yes, but they labeled skeptical Muslims like Ayaan Hirsi Ali as haters.
If you have a horrible experience with religion, that's one thing. It's another thing to use those experiences as ammunition against others who are practicing their religion peacefully.
But they're just speaking, criticizing it.
Of course she has the right to free speech, as does the Southern Poverty Law Center has a right to push back.
We can stand together against
push back.
The center also calls the Family Research Council a hate group.
Look at these people.
The definition of a marriage is what it's been for 5,000 years. It's the union of a man and a woman.
I often disagree with the council myself, but do they belong on this hate map?
No.
When they don't agree with you politically,
everything's
they're going to list you as a hater.
Everything.
You are haters. You hate gays.
No, I don't hate gay people.
I love John Stossel.
And I know gay people, and I have worked with gay people.
But once you become a hate group, you're a target.
Developing now, word of a shooting at the Family Research Council there in Washington.
This is very important to see.
One man was so enraged by what the Southern Poverty Law Center said about the Family Research Council.
You ever hear about this?
He went to their headquarters to kill people.
A man shot a security guard in the arm.
Fortunately, that guard stopped the man before he could shoot anyone else.
He told the judge that he was there to kill as many of us as possible because we were a hate group.
The center also smeared
who
the
told
Ruth
him that?
Institute, a Christian group that believes gays should not have an equal right to adopt children. They're not haters.
I like gay people. I have no problem with gay people. That's not the issue. The issue is, what are we doing with kids and the definition of who counts as a parent? There could be cases where the best person for a particular child would be their Uncle Harry and his boyfriend. You know, that could be. But we owe it to the children to give them the best we can, which generally is a married mother and father.
Let's rewind what this woman said, because this is very reasonable.
Well, that's not the issue. The issue is, what are we doing with kids and the definition of who counts as a parent? There could be cases where the best person for a particular child would be their Uncle Harry and his boyfriend. You know, that could be. But we owe it to the children to give them the best we can, which generally is a married mother and father.
So you're a hater. When the Southern Poverty Law Center put the Ruth Institute on its hate map, the Institute's bank cut them off.
We've determined that you're an organization that promotes hate, violence, harassment, and so therefore we're not doing business with you.
The Ruth Institute and the Family Research Council are still on the hate list.
There's no appeal, and I sure don't know how you get off.
SPLC
I suspect the center keeps its hate list long because that brings in lots of money.
Morris Deese's salary is more than my entire annual budget. So yeah, whatever they're doing, it pays.
It sure does. Years ago, Harper's Magazine reported that the center was the richest civil rights group in America. one that spends most of its time and money trying to make more money.
Don't go together.
They promised to stop fundraising once their endowment reached $55 million. But when they reached $55 million, they changed that to $100 million, saying that would allow them to cease costly fundraising. But when they reached $100 million, they didn't stop. They collected $200 million, then $400 million. Now they've got $730 million. Yet they still smear people to raise more money.
Much of which is in offshore accounts, Caymans and places like that.
How do you know?
Oh, we look at their 990s.
And it says Cayman Islands?
Yeah.
Now the Southern Poverty Law Center calls groups that simply oppose sexually explicit content in schools anti-government extremists. Moms for Liberty and Moms for America are on the hate map because they dare do things like seek school board seats to try to stop districts from disregarding opinions of parents. Give me a break. The center puts them on the hate map, but not Antifa, the hate group that beats up people on the right. The center's become a hate group itself. It's now a left-wing, money-grabbing slander machine.
Thank you, Mr. Stossel.
Thanks for watching.
You're
we
welcome.
Don't have a 700 million.
So, as you can see, John Stossel has exposed the SPLC on in his video. They are the hate group. So, as usual, when it's, you know, just like well, what example can I use? There's so many. Russia. Russia, Trump's a Russian asset. He's Putin, Russia. Meanwhile, the Democrats, Hillary Clinton, were the ones working with Russia, right? To for a fake dossier and you know, getting millions of dollars from Russia, from Moscow, and doing, you know, all these different things. There's just so much. I don't even need to go into it, but you know, is the Clinton Foundation a hate foundation? Were they, at least? Because they don't exist anymore now that she's not a politician, or Bill isn't a politician. All of a sudden, the Clinton Foundation's gone because they can't. There's no way to. How you say? My grandma, rest in peace, would say, how you say launder money through the company or the whatever you want to call it, the foundation. Launder the money that they get from Russia, from Ukraine. But they didn't get anything from Ukraine. We give it to them. All our taxes go there. They want more. The rhinos, Democrats, they want us to give more. By proxy war, America's in a war right now. The reason why even weak, dementia-riddled presidents are allowed to get away with doing this shit is because of the way we are. We are not landlocked with all these countries, so they have to come across the ocean if they want to attack us, and it's hard. That's very hard for them to. That's a hard sell to say, hey, we'll win if we're going to go to the U.S. to start fighting, because the U.S. Citizens first are also on the front line as well as the military. Knowing many people in the military, they do not agree with these things. So they, if the government told the military to do something to its own citizens, I believe the military itself, the people in the military whose family are those citizens, would not cooperate. The ones I know wouldn't. And, you know, they have all different beliefs, and no one has the same beliefs as I do. No one, you know, it's very hard to find someone who aligns perfectly with everything you align with, right? If you only agree with people, or can only be friends with people that stand aligned with you, then you'll have no one. That's just stupid. It's not. No one's ever lived that way until recently, and look how horrible life is for everyone. And the SPLC is making it worse. Look at this guy. This poor guy. I'm going to say he's a poor guy. He went and shot up a place because he's been booped in the brain by the media and the SPLC to think that this place that is some sort of hate group that's actively out. The only hate groups I see that are active are leftist hate groups that are causing damage to property and to people. the only time I see it, and I don't watch the news because the news doesn't cover that stuff. But there's not a lot of they don't show a lot of the people on my side doing these things on the left-wing news because it's not happening. And when it does happen, we figure out that it's usually a lie. So they also don't mention, you know, this year there have been 2 mass shootings by trans people under a manifesto they will not release. Remember that too. Thank you for watching.